Greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Let me get set up here. I came in a haste, so I don't have all my channel stuff set up yet. So please bear with me. And I do want to take the time to thank everybody for their support. And while I'm doing so, please remember to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I am working on 3 channels again tonight. And I get set up one more time on this last channel. And so please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you're on one channel, get the other 2 channels and hit those buttons to help the algorithms. And then, of course, in the meantime, I've got to drop the link here as soon as I find it. StreamYard link is being dropped now for people that want to join. And of course, there's a PayPal link down below for anybody that wants to share some love. Everything is appreciated. I don't know what's happening here, but it's giving me a hard time here, folks. Hold on. Please and thank you. It's what happens when you have an old computer and you open too many windows. There you go. Link is pinned on all the channels. And we're coming to you tonight with the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act as the premise of granting immunity. With that concept, if you want equity, you must first come with equity. If you want peace, you must bring peace. And that's that basis of the Lord's Prayer, of course. Forgiving thy brother as you ask them to forgive you. So we're going to take a look at this as it relates to so many other aspects that I've spoken about in the last 7 years. And one of those we're going to look at, of course, U.S. citizenship, laws, and policy. Involves international judicial assistance, service of process, Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, the FSIA checklist, Inter-American Service Convention, and additional protocols. Obtaining evidence, and this is what we call material fact evidence. It's in, on, and for the record already, folks. It's already there. All you have to do is obtain it. How do you obtain it? Well, you know who's holding the record? If not, ask. Where do I find these records? Retaining a foreign attorney, enforcement of judgments, international treaties and agreements, international child support enforcement, international prison transfer program, information for lawyers and judges. Interesting part there. Advice about possible loss of U.S. nationality and dual nationality. Don't give me any legal advice. And again, I remind you to remember the turning guns into doorknobs video I did about Gary Davis, who also did the exact same thing as Jesus, disclaimed a nationality, said you didn't have to take notice of that census. So let's take a look at the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act as it states in the U.S. Code. '28 U.S. Code, Chapter 97, jurisdictional immunities of foreign states, judiciary and judicial procedure, jurisdiction and venue. Now, remember, I told you at the enumeration at birth, they create a state vital statistic jurisdiction, which is exclusive to each individual. And that jurisdiction is identified by a name and a number. The name and number identify the record. That's the jurisdiction. It's independent of all others because that name and number is different than all others. It is its own exclusive jurisdiction within the general jurisdiction of the record keeper. Findings and declaration of purpose at 1602. There's definitions. Immunity of a foreign state from jurisdiction. General exceptions to the jurisdictional immunity of a foreign state. Terrorism exception to the jurisdictional immunity of a foreign state. Responsibility of foreign states for international terrorism against the United States. You can't be making a claim against the United States. You can't be making threats against the United States that you're going to disband the government, as it gets close to being stated on programs like, or on platforms like Jack's. Extent of liability. Extent of liability. Outside the internal liability. Counterclaims. Service time to answer default. Immunity from attachment and execution of property of a foreign state. See, that's all you have to declare is that you're a foreign state and there already exists an immunity, which is the equal station of the judges and the public officials and their immunity. Quit acting like bitch-ass slaves, rising up against them, find out what it truly means to hold an equal station and learn how to stand up in that station. Exceptions to the immunity from attachment or execution. Certain types of property immune from execution. And then you got the editorial notes. Remember, I spoke about the editorial notes. Editorial. See, when you have, additional things, where was it? Additional. Attachment, it is the same thing. You're attaching something to another thing. So you're creating an addition. Findings and declaration of purpose. The Congress finds that the determination by United States courts of the claims of foreign states to immunity from the jurisdiction of such courts would serve the interest of justice and would protect the rights of both foreign states and litigants in the United States courts. Again, 50 U.S.C. 4305b2, the full acquittance and discharge wherein no person shall be held liable in any court. It is, in fact, a piece of court itself, and it's stating the same thing in different terms in different places throughout all the different jurisdictions. The law is uniform throughout all jurisdictions, and that claim to peace, again, is the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So it's not done in the name. It's done in the principle of peace and forgiveness. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil. For thine is the power, the glory, and the grace. He's the one that provides the grace. He's the provider of his favor, prosperity as it already is. All you got to do is come in peace. If you want equity, you got to come with equity. So again, it says notes. Public Law 94, 583, Section 7, October 21st, 1976, 90 Stat 2898, provided. Remember, we just spoke about providence of grace. Who is the true provider? That statute and law provides what? It provides an agreement somewhere. Like I said, it's the Lord's Prayer. Bring that into agreement with everything else, or bring everything else into agreement with that. One way or another, you have to show how they're uniform, and that the uniform under the full armor of God is the true faithful act, and nothing else need be said, written or spoken. If any provision of this act, enacting this chapter in section 1330 of this title, amending sections 1332, 1391, and 1441 of this title, and enacting provisions set out as notes, promises under this section and section 1 of this title. Promises to what? Promises to adhere to the law which it comes from. The original oath that God gave us to seek his counsel, or the application thereof to any foreign state, is held invalid. The invalidity does not affect other provisions or applications of the act, which can be given effect without the invalid provision or application. And to this end, the provisions of this act are severable. So again, like I said earlier, when you start being able to take other objective views and look at them and start pulling out the things that don't belong there, what's left is what creates a solid foundation of objective views that are held common in belief. Still a belief, though. It's just held to be more true and accurate, or more correct and accurate, closer to being true. And I believe those links are down below for anybody that wants to check them out. In the meantime, again, remember, folks, you have to learn how to stand up. You have to have a principle to stand on first. Before you can go chasing a bag or having any kind of respect, you have to learn how to stand up and make sure that what you're standing on is solid. You go stepping up and you got nothing but a pool of quicksand, people aren't going to respect you too much. They're going to think you're an idiot. So think about this stuff, and remember, folks, I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. God bless. Have a good night, and we'll see you again tomorrow.